Hello everyone. Let me just check my audio and video whether it is reaching to everyone or not. Just give me a moment. Yes, it's there. It's there. Perfect. Okay. So let people come. So I could see, yes, there are two people right now. So just whosoever is joining me, just give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Yes. Yay, Adya. Hello. So Adya, so are you ready to study circles? I guess this is the first time you'll be studying it, right? Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, I hope yes, people will join me later on. Okay. So we'll start our session. Okay. So hi, I welcome you all in Let's Crack JEE in English. This is our YouTube channel specifically dedicated to IIT JEE students, and this is Circles Part 1. So we'll be starting from all the basics, the definition of circle, then we'll be talking about different forms of circle. So this is our main agenda for today. So definition, circles, different forms, and we'll be solving a few questions based on it. Okay. So whosoever is joining me the very first time, so hi, this is Nishant Khanduja. I graduated and post-graduated from IIT Bombay. I pursued aerospace engineering, and my rank was 1256 in IIT, and it was 363 in AIEEE, and in RPT it was All India rank 4. Before joining Unacademy, I traded in US and Canadian markets for almost 2 years, and I have the experience of 8 years in teaching line, and I was teaching specifically individual students. So what I mean to say when I say individual students, so just give me a moment guys, just give me a moment. I guess my pointer is not functioning properly. Just give me a moment, let me fix the issue. Oh, just give me a moment. Yes, now it's functioning perfect. Okay, so I was an individual teacher, so I used to teach students, those who are preparing in big coaching institutes, but they have given up in IITG. So I was their personal mentor. So I analyzed their exact situation, where exactly they need to be worked upon, and luckily, yes, I say, I got good students, and they all went through IIT JEE, and I guess five of them are already there in IIT, and I'm waiting for 2 more students this year. So let's see, fingers crossed. And with the same thought process, I ended up joining Unacademy, because I think there are many people, those either they didn't get a chance to go to coachings, or if they are there in the coaching, but still they can't crack IIT. I know, see, let's not talk about toppers. I know toppers, see, they can grasp the knowledge very easily, but it's about the other people. It's about the mass. They also have the right. I know, somehow it's just everyone needs someone, that person can understand that particular student, right? So I teach them, I teach those individual students in that manner. So with the same thought process, I joined India's largest campaign, Crack IIT JEE with Unacademy. What you need to do is you just need to install an Unacademy application, and there you find 2 sort of packages. One is Plus subscription, another one is your Iconic subscription. In Plus subscription, you get daily live classes, and these daily live classes are completely different from what you see on YouTube. You have different sort of experience, personal interaction is there, and you can just just literally talk to the teacher while class is going on. So all these you can say experiences are different. Whereas in also you also get structured courses. You do not need to study multiple books. All the good questions from these good books are there in your Unacademy library. You can also attempt live tests and quizzes. You can also know about the results. Apart from these benefits, you also have the unlimited access to the recorded videos. Let's say if you miss out on any live lecture, it's okay. If you want to revise any particular topic, it's okay. You do not need to wait for sir to start the revision. You can just watch the video and understand it. Let's say if you didn't get a chance to understand a particular question, okay, you can just rewind it and watch it. So these sort of benefits are there in Plus subscription. Whereas in Iconic subscription, you get 3 extra benefits. You get personal coach, personal mentor. You also get study planner. You get test analysis report. So this test analysis report it's like the boon of technology to you guys. Now just tell me one thing. Someone comes and tells you, this is your weak topic, and try focusing on just while you are solving the question, just have more focus on them, because we do not want you to lose your marks here, because in IIT you get negative markings. So let's say if because of your strength you are scoring full in particular subject, but because of your shortcomings you are getting negative marks. Is it possible that we can just reduce this negative marking part, and eventually your overall score will improve and your rank will be improved? So these sort of test analysis reports, so these sort of boons are there in this report. Apart from these 3 things, whatever is there in Plus, you get it here. Sorted? Okay, so when it comes to buy these packages, you get options to buy for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. And I always suggest go for 24 months, 2 years package. The reason being, first of all, it's way cheaper. You can see 2,333 rupees per month. And eventually that is what? 80 rupees per day, 27 rupees per day per subject. Really, 27 rupees per day per subject for IIT. And that's an amazing achievement, right? And for people, those who are droppers, for them, go for 1 year subscription. And the second benefit is, see, it's all about understanding the teacher. Now the teacher understands you, and you also understand the teacher. So when the bond is there, so why to break that bond? Because he knows your strength. He has been teaching you for the longest time, so he will decide how you should go ahead. He'll take care, he'll look after you. So go for 2-year subscription, because I think there should be no interruption while preparing for any sort of examination. So when you go for 2-year subscription, go for you need to pay 56,000 rupees. If you apply my code, this is a small gift, NK001, you get 10% off, and the cost becomes 50,400 rupees. Similarly, for droppers or 12 students, 38,500 rupees. When you apply my code, you get 10% off, and the price becomes 34,650 rupees. For Iconic subscription, the price for 2 years is 86,000, and it becomes 77,400 rupees after applying my code, which is NK001. And for 1 year, it becomes 50,400 rupees after applying my code NK001. Okay, so we are about to start our class. So before starting the class, what we generally do, meditation, 5 minutes meditation. So let's go ahead and close your eyes and start our meditation session. So I want all of you to just close your eyes, and when I say 1, I want all of you to just inhale. When I say 2, exhale. Okay, so let's go ahead. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now when I say 1, I want you to inhale, then hold your breath. When I say 2, 3, 4, I want you to gradually exhale. 1, Hold your breath. Just focus on your breath. 2, 3, 4. 1. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. When I say 1, 2, 3, I want you to gradually inhale. Don't go in one go, okay? So I'll show you how. See, I took a time span to inhale, so I want that. So let's start. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. 4. Again. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want all of you to just inhale when I say 1, and then just hold your breath and start chanting Om. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's rub your palms. Give warmth to your eyes and gentle massage to your face. Gradually open your eyes. I hope all of you are feeling really good. So I just want a thumbs up from everyone whosoever is feeling concentrated, motivated to learn. Yes, come on guys, let's start. So here comes the definition of circle. So I hope everyone remembers the definition of circle. If you remember what we studied in the very first chapter of coordinate geometry, Introduction to Coordinate Geometry, there I spoke about locus. So what is this? This is a path or a locus of a point which is a fixed distance away. Fixed distance away from a given point. Let's say x1 comma y1, and this is the point which moves in such a manner that it is always a constant distance away from this given point. So let's say this point's coordinates are h comma k. So whosoever locus needs to be found out, we always give that point coordinate h comma k. So let's start. Now this is h comma k. Now what was our second step? That we have to write down the constraint in mathematical form. So what is the constraint? It is always a constant distance away from the given point. So if I calculate the constant distance, what is that? H minus x1 whole square plus k minus y1 whole square is equal to what? A, correct? I can square both the sides. What do I get? I get this, correct? Now what was our fourth step? Replace h and k by x and y respectively. So this is x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square is equal to a square, correct? Now, so this is the equation or locus of this point, or equation of circle. So as you can see, whenever we need to find an equation of circle, what do we require? We need two information. What is that? First you need the radius, second the center. That's it. If you have these two information, you can find out the equation of circle. So what does other says? The locus of points in the plane equidistant from a given point is a circle. Okay, so Adya, I'll tell you something which is very important. If you just look at the definition, you need to change a few things. That's it. The locus of points. So here you have taken multiple points. You are not talking about one point's path. You are talking about multiple points path, right? In the plane equidistant from a given point, you can say the locus of a point in a plane that it remains equidistant from a given point. That's it. When you take multiple points, then say you must get what? Multiple circles, not one circle. I hope it is clear. That's it. So radius and center, clear? Okay. So when you expand this, what do you get? You get x square plus x1 square minus twice of x1 plus y square plus y1 square minus twice of y1 is equal to a square. So this can be further written as x square plus y square minus twice of x1 minus twice of y1 plus x1 square plus y1 square minus a square is equal to 0. Okay, now this sort of form, this can be written as, and this is the general form what we see of circle, this sort of form. So this is called the general form of the circle. So whenever we get general form, so using general form, we can easily calculate radius and center. I'll show you how. So what you need to do is, this is your standard form. You can compare it with the general form. So what do you see? As you can clearly see here, when I compare the x coefficient, what do I get? I get minus of x1 is equal to what? Your g. So I can clearly say that my x1, which is the x coordinate of center, is what? Minus of g. Similarly, my y1 will be what? Minus of f. In general form, when I see the coefficient of y, half of it, negative of half of it will give me y coordinate of my center. When I talk about the radius, so what is that? I can clearly see that, see, this constant term is what? This is basically x1 square plus y1 square minus a square. So a square is my radius. So a is what? Square root x1 square plus y1 square minus c. Here, as we know that what is x1? G square plus s square minus c. So this is your radius. So whenever you feel like calculating the radius using the general form, so this is your formula. Root g square plus x square minus c. I hope everything is clear here. If anyone has any doubt, you're free to ask. Okay, so let's move ahead. Then radius and center. Now this we have already calculated, so general form is given, and this radius would be what? G square plus f square minus c, and my my point would be what? Minus g minus f. Clear? Let's move ahead. Oh, we have got one question. A P point moves in such a way that the ratio of its distance from two coplanar points is always a fixed number. Then identify the locus of the point. Okay. So what it says is that you have been given two coplanar points. So let's say you can say alpha comma beta, and another one is gamma comma delta. Now there is a point whose locus needs to be found. So we can just give h comma k as coordinates, correct? Now what you need to do is you just simply needs to follow the constraint given here and write that down in mathematical term. So what it says is a point moves in such a way that the ratio of its distance, so ratio of this point from here, so the distance of this h comma k from alpha comma beta upon distance of h comma k from gamma and delta has some sort of ratio, and we can name it, let's say ratio, let's say capital R. Okay, so square root h minus alpha square plus k minus beta whole square upon square root h minus gamma square plus k minus delta square is equal to what? Capital R. Let's solve it further. What I can do is I can just square both the sides. So when I square both the sides, what do I get? H minus alpha whole square plus k minus beta whole square is equal to r square h minus gamma whole square plus r square k minus delta whole square. We can expand, and I'll take a few terms here on the left hand side. So it will become h square. Then from there I'll get r square h square plus alpha square and minus of r square gamma square plus, okay, it will be minus of twice of h alpha, and from here I'll get minus, it will become plus twice of r square h and gamma. Similarly, I'll get k square minus r square k square plus beta square minus r square into delta square minus of twice of k beta, and I get from here plus of twice of r square k delta is equal to 0. Now I'll replace h and k as x and y. So what do I get? X square 1 minus r square, y square 1 minus r square. So these terms are done. Then I'll have 2x as common. So I get what? R square gamma minus alpha. Similarly, twice of y, r square delta minus beta plus alpha square plus beta square minus r square gamma square plus delta square is equal to 0. Now just look at this. I can divide by 1 by r square as well. So when I divide, so instead of writing, what I'll do is I'll just, for you guys, I'll just divide it right now. So I'll just cut this. So all these terms will have divided by 1 minus r square. Okay. Now, so don't you think this looks like a general form of circle like this? Correct? Okay. So using that, okay, so this looks like a general form. Now I want to tell you, I want to give you an extra information. What is that extra information? So whenever you get quadratic in x and y, how can you identify whether it represents a circle or not? So one thing is, your coefficient of x square is always equal to coefficient of y square. First, there is no coefficient, the coefficient of xy term will always be 0. There is no term of x and y, x into y. I hope everything is clear to you guys. So these two things always just first check, because if these two things are there, then yes, you are almost sure that yes, it's a circle. Okay, shall we move ahead then? Okay, let's go ahead. Find the length of the chord where this chord cuts off by y is equal to twice of x plus 1 from the circle this. Okay, now I'll explain you the question. What it says, you have got a circle, x square plus y square is equal to 2. Now tell me, what is its radius and center? Adya, I can't see the answer. Can you please show me the answer? X square plus y square is equal to 2. So for this circle, as you can see, if you compare it with x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square is equal to a square. If you compare it, what do you see? Your x1 y1, x1 is what? 0. Your y1 is also 0. So origin is your center here, and a is here what? A is here root 2. So root 2 is your radius. So for this equation, this will be the circle's diagram. Okay, 0, 0, and this is the radius. Now you have been given a line, y is equal to twice of x plus 1. So let's draw the line. So y-intercept here is what? 1. So let's say somewhere here, and the slope is what? 2. So slope is like 2. Okay. Okay. So let's say this sort of chord you'll have. So what you need to do is you need to find the length of the chord. Now I want all of you to just use geometry and find the answer. Okay. Start, guys. Come on. See, what I was thinking, I can solve this question by two approaches. I'll explain. I'll share both the approaches with you. Meanwhile, I want all of you to just solve this question first. Come on, Adya, and I guess someone has joined me also. So for this question, the answer is 6 by root 5. Yes, Adya, I guess the answer for this question is 6 by root 5. Correct. Absolutely right. You can just explain your approach, how you approached this question. That's it. This would be more than enough for us. Approach. Right now, I have thought about two approaches to solve this question. There is third person also who has just joined us. So if you have any doubt, you can just ask, and give me a thumbs up if you're understanding everything. Okay. Adya, you just explain. So which method, which theoretical knowledge you applied here? That's it. Okay, so let's go. So I'll talk about approach number 1 first. Approach number 1 is, see, I know one thing, that for any chord, if I draw a perpendicular from the origin, from the center of the circle, it meets it at the midpoint of the chord. Correct? So now tell me one thing. See, I know the radius, so that means I know this hypotenuse root 2. Correct? I can easily calculate this part. How? Because in straight line I have studied that from a point, if I want to calculate the perpendicular distance of a straight line, I can easily calculate. Correct? Let's calculate this. So this will be what? 1 upon 4 plus 1. So this will be the perpendicular length. So this will be what? L will be what? 1 by root 5. Correct? So I have calculated this 1 by root 5. Now I can use Pythagoras theorem to calculate this half part of this chord. So that will be what? that will be your let's say let's say it c by 2. Okay, by 2 square is equal to what? Hypotenuse square, which is 2 minus 1 by 5, and it becomes what? So 2 minus 1 by 5. So what do I get? 10. So 9 by 5. Now I can take the square root, so it becomes c by 2 is equal to what? 3 by root 5, and c will be what? 6 by root 5. This is one way to solve this question where I have used geometry a bit. Okay. Now approach 2. So approach 2 is, if I can find the intersection point of this line and the circle, then I can once I find the coordinate, I can use my distance formula. Simple. Let's do that as well. So to find the intersection point, I would see that both the equations should satisfy the same points. What I'll do is I'll just put the value of y from here in this equation. So what do I get? X square plus 4x square plus 1 plus 4x is equal to 2. So I get x square plus 4 of x, sorry, 5x square plus 4 of x minus 1 is equal to 0. This can be written as, I can find out the root. Okay, so using x1 and x2, let's say roots are x1 and x2, I can calculate y1, y2. I have to just put x1 and x2 value here, right? Now just think one thing. I'll be calculating the distance. Now distance will be what? X1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2 whole square, correct? Now just think, when x1 and x2 are the two roots of this quadratic equation, I know two things, that x1 plus x2 is what? Minus b by a, which is minus 4 by 5, whereas x1 into x2 will be what? C by a, so 1 by 5 minus 1 by 5, correct? So if I can use this product of roots and summation of roots to find out x1 minus x2, I'll be saving a lot of steps. Let's do that. So x1 minus x square is what? X1 plus x2 whole square minus 4 times x1 into x2, correct? So let's do that. X1 plus x2 square, so 16 by 25 minus 4 times x1 into x2, so this will be plus by 5. Okay, now let's talk about y1 minus y2. So you can easily calculate that. So let's say y1 is what? Twice of x1 plus 1. Y2 will be what? Twice of x2 plus 1. You can subtract. So y1 minus y2 will be what? Twice of x1. x1 minus x2 whole square. Correct? So this 2 will come out. So I'll have 4 here. x1 minus x2 whole square is this. So this is what? I can make it what? It as 20. So 20 by 25. So 36 by 25. Okay. Into 36 by 25 here. I hope everything is clear to you guys so far. Okay. So this is what? 36, 36. Okay. So 36 divided by 36. 36 here. So 5 times of 36 upon 5 times of 36 upon 25. So 5 and square root. This will be what? 6 by root 5. That's it. So this is our second approach where we use our quadratic equations as well. Correct? So let's see what Adya has done. I used PQ 2 PM is 2 root OP. Okay. So I guess Adya, she has used approach number 1, where she has used geometry. She has used your algebra as well as geometry, which is a really good part, and that's what you can see. The question became very simple. You could see it was solved in hardly what? 1 or 2 steps. Whereas approach 2 was a little bit, you can say, slightly lengthy, and it was having quadratic as well as your coordinate geometries concept. Here. Okay, let's go ahead and solve our next question. I hope you must have understood which approach to be used in the question paper. I would say approach number 1. because as you can see, whenever we use geometry helps us to save a lot of steps, and when we save a lot of steps, that clearly means we are saving time. Okay, let's go for next question. Find the equation of circle which passes through the point 1, -2, 4, -3, and whose center lies on the line. Okay, so this, okay, so I again give you guys let's say 45 seconds this time. I wanted to solve this question. This is a bit smart question. This is not the simple question what we solved earlier. This needs a bit of smartness. So you can start solving this question. If you know any hint, any doubt, if you have regarding understanding the question, you can just ask me. You're free to ask. Come on, guys. Okay, so just let's go back and let's solve this question. Okay, so is the equation x minus 3? This is the equation, but the point is, how will you find the equation of circle? Okay, I'm not sure, Adel. Let's see, and you can check whether you attempted the question in the right manner or not. Okay, so let's start. So see, the very first thing is, as you can see, there are 3 information given, that it passes from 2 different points and the center lies here. So let's check. If you want to solve this question using the general form, you need to know what? 3 things. Your G, your F and C. 3 things need to be known. Clear? As you can see that when you put these 2 points, you understand what? You get 2 equations. But when it comes to knowing the third unknown variable, how do you know that? You'll have to use this equation. So you can just use that. You can simply form 3 equations and solve this question. So when you put 1, -2, so you get what? 1 plus 4 plus twice of G plus will become minus, so 4 of F plus C is equal to 0. So I can rewrite this as twice of G minus of 4F plus C is equal to minus of 5. Similarly, using the 4, -3, what do I get? I get 16 plus 9 plus 8 of G minus 6 of F plus C is equal to 0, which can be written as 8 of G minus of 6F plus C is equal to what? Minus of 25. Now, center lies here. So when we have general form, so that means our center would be what? Minus G and minus F, correct? So let's put it here. When we put it here, so what do I see? Minus of 3G minus of 4F is equal to 7. So these are 3 equations. So let's solve them. We can subtract equation number 1 from equation number 2. When we do that, what do we get? Twice of G minus 4F minus 8G plus 6F is equal to what? Minus 5 plus 25. Clear? I hope no one has any doubt so far. So what do we get? We get minus of 6G and plus of twice of F is equal to what? 20. So this can be written as minus of 3g plus f is equal to 10. Let's solve third equation and this equation. Again subtract. When we subtract, what do I get? Minus of 4 minus of 5 of f is equal to this 7 by minus of 10. So what is my f? F is what? Minus of 3. Okay, so this will become plus 3 by 5. I hope we have not gone wrong in terms of calculation wise. For this is 8 minus 6, correct? 8g minus 6f plus c is equal to minus of 25. 5, perfect. When we subtract it, so minus of 8 minus of 6g. Then we have also got minus of 4f plus 6 of f, correct? Twice of f, absolutely right. So and this is minus, so 25. Okay, so 25 minus 20, perfect. So I have a minus of 6g plus twice of f is equal to 20, and minus 3g plus f is equal to 10. I can subtract. When I subtract, what do I get? I get this cancelled out, so I have this minus 5 of f minus. Okay, so Adya, this center is turning out to be for this y is minus 3 by 5. Okay, and if you want to calculate g, so what do I get? Minus of 3g is equal to 7 plus 4 of f, which is your 3 by 5. What do I get? I get 12. Okay, 12, and this is a 35. Okay, so 35. Correct. Yes, okay. 30. Okay, this is what 12, and this is 35. 47 by 5, and my g becomes minus 47 by 50. So this is these are my coordinates of center, and using that I can easily calculate my radius. What will be my radius? So you just need to put g and f here. You can calculate c. When you do that, what do you see? Twice of g will be what? Minus of 47 by 15. And then we have minus of 4 times f 3 by 5 plus c is equal to minus of 5. So I get what? C will be equal to minus of 5 plus twice of this become 97 by 94 by 15 plus 12 by 5. I can take 15 as LCM. So what do I get? Minus of 75 plus this 94 thing. So 94 is as it is. Then I have thrice, so it is 36. So I have what? 19 from here, correct? 19 from here, and then 19 and 36. 19 and 36, it becomes 55. 55 upon 15. So I have 11 by 3. Clear? Now we can just punch everything here in the equation. So I have x square plus y square plus twice of what is minus of g, 47 by 15. So 47 by 15. My g becomes what? This x plus twice of what is f, 3 by 5 plus, and your c is what? 11 by 3 is equal to 0. So this is your final equation. You can just cross check. If you find any calculation mistake, you're free to ask, and you can just free to tell me as well. Does anyone have any doubt? And if you feel like, you can just cross check this this point. So minus 47. Okay, so minus 47 by 5 plus, then we have 12 by 5. Okay, perfect. minus G minus F. Yes, it's absolutely right. You're getting the right answer. Okay. So let's move ahead and let's start solving our next question. Okay. Okay. No issues. No issues, Adya. I was just cross-checking for you only. Let's go ahead. Equation of circle on a given diameter. Okay. So let's say you have been given the 2 points, two opposite points of a diameter like this, x1 comma y1, and this is x2 comma y2. Now tell me one thing, if you want to find out the equation of circle, how would you do that? What will be the condition? Okay, so in geometry, if you must have remembered that when you make a diameter and try to draw any triangle using the third point or third vertex on the perimeter of circle, you always make what? Right angle triangle. Do you know why it happens? It's very easy. If you just look at the arc, so whatever the arc subtends an angle on the center of the circle, that is basically the twice of the same arc makes an angle on any point on the perimeter. That was a theorem we used to study. So this is your 90 degrees, correct? So now let's say, because we need to find out the locus of this point h comma k. So let's give this coordinate h comma k. Now what is the constraint here? That these two lines are making 90 degree angle, correct? So that means slope, let's say if this has slope m1 and this has slope, let's say m2, the product of slope would be what? Minus of 1. So k minus y2 upon k minus y2 upon h minus x2. This is the slope for this line, and for second line it is h minus y1 upon h minus x1 is equal to minus 1. Now you can just cross multiply. What do you see? I'm replacing h and k with x and y. X minus x1 into x minus x2 plus y minus y1 into y minus y2 is equal to 0. So this is the equation of circle when two opposite points of a diameter they are given. Okay, I hope this thing is clear with you guys. Let's move to another form. Okay, we have got a question. So if the abscissa and ordinates of 2 points P and Q are the roots of the equation. Okay, see, of 2 points P and Q are the roots of this equation, this and this. Okay, so let's say this has roots x1 and x2, and this has got roots, let's say y1 and y2. x1 y1 is what? Basically P point, and let's say Q point is what? x2 comma y2. Sorted. Then find the equation of the circle with PQ as diameter. Let's solve this question. It's a very interesting question. Okay, I give you guys 45 seconds to solve this question. Whosoever gets the answer, you can just post the answer here in comment section. Okay. I've set the watch for 45 seconds. 15 seconds are over. Okay, so now I'll tell you. See here, we need to find the equation of circle when two opposite points are being given to you, correct? So what is the equation? X minus x1 and then x minus x2 plus y minus y1 and this y minus y2 is equal to 0, correct? Now just look at this. This equation has two roots, x1, x2. That means this equation can be written in factors form like this: x minus x1, x minus x2. Yes or no? Right? Similarly, this equation can be written as x minus y1 and x minus y2. True? Now just tell me one thing. This variable can be replaced. I can make it y, I can make it t, but the quadratic equation would remain the same. True? So let's do that. So I am writing this part, this as it is: x square plus twice of ax minus b square. Similarly, this can be written as, I'm just changing the variable, y square plus twice of py minus q square is equal to 0. Here, now I can just rewrite this as x square plus y square plus twice of ax plus twice of py minus b square minus q square is equal to 0. That's it. This is your circles equation. I hope you didn't find any difficulty. I can't see your answer. I can't see any comment. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's move ahead. Equation of circle in parameter. Okay, so I love parameters. Why? Because they make life, they literally make life easier. So now let's talk about parametric form here. So here, just assume, let's say alpha comma beta, this is the origin. So this is the center of the circle. And this has got radius a. Now, if I want to represent any point on the circle, how would I do that? It's very easy. Let's say this is what? Any point, x comma y. And this point makes theta angle with the x-axis, because this line is parallel to the x-axis. So I'm just saying it would make the same angle, correct? So now I'm writing x. See, I'm writing x as, till here it is alpha, correct? And when I take the projection, this part is what? A of cos of theta. Alpha plus a of cos of theta. Similarly, y can be written as beta plus, when I take the projection on the y-axis, this part is what? This is your a of sine of theta. Until here it is beta. Here, beta plus a of sine. Now, as you can see, x and y, they can be represented only in one variable, right? This is the beauty of parametric form. So this is your parametric form of circle. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. X and y intercepts. Let's calculate the x and y intercept. What are they? So x intercept is basically when the circle cuts the x-axis, and here y intercept is when your circle cuts the y-axis, and this part is called y intercept and this part is called x intercept. Now let's try to calculate them. Now tell me one thing, guys. We need to find out the coordinates of these 2 points, and then we can use the distance formula and we can find out the answer, correct? So let's do that. To find out these 2 points, what you can see, if I, let's say, name it as x1 comma 0 and I name it as x2 comma 0. So as you can see here, at these 2 points, my y becomes 0. So finally I'll have equation like this: x square plus 2gx plus c is equal to 0. Now I know that the roots of this quadratic equation will be x1 and x2. So instead of finding x1 and x2 first, x1 and x2, then using the distance formula, I can be smart, what we did in the previous question also. I can use this knowledge. x1 plus x2 is what? Minus of twice of g. x1 into x2 is what? C. Let's use that. So my x1 minus x2 will be what? Square root x1 plus x2 whole square. So that becomes 4g square, correct? Now minus 4 of x1 into x2, correct? 4 of x1 into x2 is c. So this became twice of root g square minus c. Clear? So this is your x-intercept. Twice of root g square minus c. Similarly, this can be written as twice of f square minus c. Clear? You can just simply do that. You can make x as 0, then you will have quadratic in y, and you can just solve that. Got it? Now I'll tell you one more information. See, this center is what? Whenever you draw a perpendicular, it meets exactly at the midpoint, correct? So whatever the coordinates you find, x1 and x2 here, okay? So let's say this, and you're seeing minus 2g. The half of it will be what? The coordinate of the x coordinate of your circle's center. x1 plus x2 by 2 will be what? Minus of g, and you can check it from mathematical information also. I am doing it using geometry, but from mathematics also it is being verified. So y1 plus y2 by 2 will be what? Minus of f. Okay, clear? I hope you understood everything, and the information, the interpretation from geometry also you can verify with the mathematical knowledge. Okay, let's move. Different forms of circle. When circle passes from the origin and it has got x and y intercepts are known to you. Oh, great. So see here, when someone says that it is passing from origin, so that means it is satisfying your origin. If this is the general equation, I have assumed it should satisfy the origin. 0 comma 0, that means 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus c is equal to 0. So that clearly says the constant term needs to be 0. True. So first condition tells you c needs to be 0. Now it says x and y intercepts are known to you. What does that mean? That means, let's say, if I know x intercept is, let's say, twice of alpha, and I know y intercept is, let's say, twice of beta. Okay, so twice of alpha is what? Twice of g square minus 0. So twice 2 will cancel out. I know one thing very clearly, that my alpha will be what? G. Okay, I hope this is clear with you guys. Here, okay. So what I mean to say is, see, if this is your twice of alpha, so half of this will give you what? The center. Got it? So now tell me one thing. See, center is what? Always minus of g. The coordinate x coordinate is what? Minus of g. Always make sure that you take the negative of this. Don't take the positive, because I know what you will be doing is you will be just taking the plus sign. Right? So that's why I could have done it the other way around. And one more thing is there, because see, whenever we write alpha, this is always in mod, because this is the length, correct? So this is when it is the length. When we are opening it, we can take plus minus. So it's all up to you guys. You can have this side also and the other side also. Okay, so I'll state it always plus minus. It just make sure how you are taking it. So twice of beta will be what? Twice of f square minus c. C is 0, so 2. So beta, so I can write it like this, so that you know you will not get confused in future also. So beta will be what? Plus minus. Here. So now your origin, your center, circle centers are known to you, and they are known to you. You can easily calculate the radius from here. Yes or no? That would be what? G square plus f square. So I can clearly write x plus minus depending upon your question's conditions. g square plus f square. Okay, sorted. Let's go to our next question. When circle touches the x-axis, okay, when circle is touching the x-axis, the very first thing you know that the x-intercept is 0. So when x-intercept is 0, so it says z square is equal to c. First information. Second information, from here you can see when we know the coordinate minus g minus f. So this length is what? This length is what? By coordinate it is what? Minus of f. Luckily, as you can see, this is the radius also. So my radius will always be what? Which is what? G square plus f square minus c. The root is what? Minus of f. You can just square it. So g square c, okay, this will cancel out. So what I mean to say is, from here, this radius will be the radius will be what? Y coordinate. Clear? So you can directly use that also. So x minus plus g square plus y plus your f whole square is equal to your radius will be what? F square. Clear? So you can use this information. I hope this is clear, or otherwise you directly want to write down the general equation. So see, x square plus f square plus 2gx plus twice of fy plus, but c will be what? G square. So instead of having 3 variables, you are ending up having only 2 variables. Here, let's move to next. When it touches the y-axis, so this thing is very much clear to you. What is that information? F square is equal to c. Again, you'll have 2 information, so you can write down the general form x square plus f square plus twice of gx plus twice of f of y plus what is your c? C here will be f square is equal to 0. So instead of having 3 variables, you ended up having 2 variables. Clear? Okay, let's move ahead. When it is touching, when circle touches both the axes, okay, very good information. When it touches both the axes, so that means this part, so I can say my g square is what? F square, and it is equal to c, because both the intercepts are 0. So that clearly means what? My g is always equal to f plus minus f. So that means coordinates, the coordinates would be both equal. Either would be here, it can be here also, it can be here also, it can be here also, but equidistant. Let's say if I'm taking first quadrant case, so I'll just write it minus g minus f. Okay, and luckily this is only the radius also. So minus of f will be what? The radius, and this is from here also minus g. Luckily both are equal. So if I want to write, I can write the equation like this: x minus, okay, so plus g square plus y plus g square is equal to g square. So as you can see, I have only one variable here because of this information. Okay, if you want to write on the general, so x square plus y square plus twice of gx, then twice of gy plus g square is equal to here. I hope everything is clear so far. If you have any doubt, you're free to ask. Clear? Let's go ahead. When circle touches the y-axis and have intercept 2l on the x-axis, okay, 2 informations are given to you. 2l is what? Root twice of g square minus c. So 2 will cancel out. So what do I have? L square is equal to g square minus c. So I can say c is what? G square minus L square. And it says y-axis is 0, the intercept. So y will be f square is equal to c, correct? So I can use these 2 equations and I can say that f square is what? G square minus L square, correct? So again, 2 conditions are given. So we have what? Total 3 variables, f, g and c. 2 are known to me. 2 conditions are given. So I can write the entire equation, entire circle's equation in only one variable. If you want to see, you can write. I'll show you. X x plus g whole square plus y. Okay, so y plus f. So instead of this f, I let square root of g square minus l square, correct, will be equal to radius. Now see here, what will be the radius? This is my minus g minus f, correct? So this part is what? G only. So I can write directly g square. That's it. Sorted. Here, does anyone have any doubt? You can ask. Let's move ahead. When circle touches the x-axis and have intercept 2l on, just give me a minute guys, I guess I was way behind, I could see on YouTube. Okay, yes. So when circle touches the x-axis, x-axis touches, so that means what? Minus g minus f. So the radius will be what? Minus of f for sure. True? Mod of minus f. What I mean to say is mod of minus f. Okay. So this is clear to me. So y-axis intercept. So twice l is equal to twice of root f square minus c. So this f. So I'll have what? L square is equal to f square minus c. My c will be what? F square minus l square. Clear? Any doubt? Okay, great. So I know c. Similarly, when x-axis is touching the x-axis, so I can say my g square will be equal to c. So my g will become what? F square minus l square. Clear? So I can write down the equation again. X. Okay, instead of writing g, I'll write this f square minus l square whole square plus y plus f square is equal to radius square. Now what is the radius here? F minus of f square. This done. So the entire equation is in only in one variable. So this is, so these are the, see, when you have different sort of condition, what you can do is you can just write down the entire circle's equation only in one variable. Okay, sometimes they give you only one condition, then you can say you can have the entire question in two variables. Let's move ahead. Okay, let's see. We have got a question, and whatever the knowledge we have gathered, we'll be using it here. Find the equation of circle which touches both the axes. See, both the axes. That means you have been given two conditions directly from here. And the straight line 4x plus 3y is equal to 6 in the first quadrant and lies below it. Okay, so they have given you the third condition to determine your last variable. That's it. I hope everything is clear. So whosoever is there in the class, I request you to just solve this question. I give you guys 45 seconds. Go ahead. But if you want, I'll just draw the diagram for you so it becomes easier for you to solve the question. It touches both the axes, okay, and the straight line, this 4x, okay, so this will be what? X 3 by 2 and then y plus y by 2 is equal to 1. So y intercept is what? 2 and this is what? 3 by 2. It's somewhat like this. 3 by 2 comma 0 and this is my 0 comma 2. Now, and this circle is there in the first quadrant, so let's say the circle is like touching both the axes and this third line. Okay, so your time starts now. Now tell me, how would you solve this question? That's an interesting part for me. Come on out there. Okay, so there is a no answer from Adya so far, so let's solve this question. Okay, see here, it is touching both the axes, so that means this will be, if I want to talk about the coordinates, it will be what, minus g minus f. Luckily, see, this minus f and this minus of g, both are equal. Why? Because both are radius. So I can just directly say the coordinate would be what? Minus g comma minus g. And minus g is positive, okay? Because it's there in the first quadrant. Now look at this one more thing. From this point, if you try to draw the perpendicular, because this line touches what? The axis. What I'll do is I'll just first write down the equation for you guys. X plus g whole square plus y plus g whole square is equal to radius square. Radius is what? Minus g whole square. So basically g square. Now, as you can see, the only one unknown is here in this equation. If that unknown can be found out, our equation of circle is known. So see here, if we use a third condition, this is your line 4x plus thrice of y minus 6 is equal to 0. Now if I calculate the length, that is what, that will be equal to what? Your radius only, because from center, if it is touching the circle, that means the perpendicular length will be equal to what? Your radius. So minus of g, your perpendicular length, will be equal to what? Will be equal to mod of. Now I will be drawing perpendicular from minus g comma minus g. So minus of 4g minus of 3g minus of 6 upon root 16 plus 9, basically 25. So I can rewrite this as okay, and this is what? Minus of 4g minus of 3g minus of 6. Now the question comes, when I open the mod sign, whether to take positive or whether to take negative. If you are very confused, I would suggest square it, and post that you can just, whenever you get the answer, you can just check minus g needs to be positive because it's there in first quadrant. If you don't want to do that, then open it for, let's say, positive, then solve it, check whether minus g is turning out to be positive or negative. If negative, then just cancel out. If positive, then just accept it. Okay, so both ways you can solve it. So I would suggest let's square it. So g square will be equal to what? 7g. So I have got what? So this 5 will come here, so 25g square will be equal to 7g. So this is 49g square plus 36. Then we have got plus 7 into 6, 42, 42 into 2, 84g. So I've got what? 24g square plus 84g plus 36 is equal to 0. I can clearly see that 12 is common here. 2g square plus 7 of g plus 3 is equal to 0. So 2, okay, 6g square, yes, it can be open as this. 7g will be what? This is 6g plus g plus 3 is equal to 0. So this can be written as twice of g plus 1 into. So when I take twice of g, so g plus 3 is equal to 0. So g turns out to be minus half and g turns out to be minus 3. Now tell me guys one thing, that which one do you think will be the right? G will be half or G will be minus 3? Tell me. What do you think? See, if you just check 3 comma 3, because minus G is what? 3 comma 3. When you check 3 comma 3, so 3 comma 3 is what? When you punch it here, let's punch it here, 3 comma 3. What do you see? Let's talk about that. So 3 comma 3, you see is what? 12. So x your minus g. So this turns out to be what? Minus g. So you have what? Minus g as 3. So 12 plus minus of g again. Then 9 minus 6. As you can see, this point, this minus 3 comma 3, this is what? Any guesses? Okay, I hope you are not getting it what I'm trying to say. So let's use location of roots, then you might understand what I'm trying to say here. Let's write it down like this. 3 of y is equal to 6 minus 4 of x. So y will be equal to what? 6 minus 4 of x by 3. So 6 minus your x will be what? 3. So I'll have 12 by 3, 6. So I'll have minus of 2. Correct? Now check here. My y, it turns out to be on the line. It turns out to be what? At minus 2. Minus 2 means what? At 3 here, it is coming out here, and whereas the point comes out here, so that means the 3,3 point is here beyond. Now this needs to be there, touches both the axis and the straight line, and in the first, and what it says lies below it. What it says lies below it. But as you can see, if the center is here, by default your circle would be what? Above the line. It would not be below the line. Here, so we cannot take this minus 3 for sure. We'll have to take this g as minus g as half. Here, I hope the point which I want to make is clear here. You'll have to take minus g as half. So your circle's equation here would be x. Your g will be what? Minus half whole square plus y minus half whole square is equal to 1 by 4. This will be the equation of the circle. I hope everything is clear for you guys. If you have any doubt, you are free to ask. If you want to cross check, it's very easy. You can just draw perpendicular from half to this line and you can just check it. See, when you drop, what do you see? 2 plus, so this 2 plus 3 by 2 minus 6 upon 5. So this turns out to be what? Your 7 by 2, and this is 12. So you have what? Minus 5 by 2 upon 5. 5 will cancel out. So you have what? Mod of half. Mod of half is what? Half. Got it. So I hope the condition this lies below it, this is clear to you guys. Okay. Adya, if you have any doubt, you are free to ask. I know this is a new topic for you. You have not studied this, but still, if you are having any concern, if you doubt, ask. Free to ask. Next question. Find the equation of circle with center at 3, minus 1 and which cuts off an intercept of length 6 from the line this. Okay, again, an easy question. Always remember what you need for a circle. You always need two things. One is the center, which is given already here. What you need to know? You just need to know the radius. Remaining thing. That's it. Now see, for radius, they have not given you directly. They have given you indirectly. How? Which, okay, so for that they have given you this. Which cuts off an intercept of length 6 from the line. So what this guy has done is, he has given you this center, let's say 3 at minus 1, somewhere here. And this is your circle, let's say. And this is your line. So twice of x minus 5y is equal to minus of 18. If I want to write it in intercept form, so how would I write it? So it will become x by 9. So minus 9. And this will become plus. So y by 18 by 5 is equal to 1. So see. Minus 9, x minus 9 somewhere here, but was it a pi intercept? So let's say somewhere like this, some sort of this. Okay, this is, it says which cuts off an intercept of 6. It says that this chord is what? 6. Oh, It's again easy. You can directly use the geometry and be smart enough. How you can do that? You can directly calculate this length. You know half of this is what? 3. You can just calculate the perpendicular length. Then you can use Pythagoras. Then radius is known. Easy question. Let's calculate the perpendicular length. So this perpendicular length, let's say this L will be what? Mod of 6 plus 5 here plus 18 upon 4 plus 25. This can be written as 6 plus 5 is what? 13. Sorry, 11. 11 and this 18. 11 and 18 is what? 11 and 18, you have 29. Square root 29. So you will have length is what? Square root 29. This is known to you. Now this is 3. So using Pythagoras, the radius would be square root 29 plus square of 3, which is what? 9. Square root of 38. Here, let's use that. X minus 3 whole square plus y plus 1 whole square is equal to 38. Done. Sorry. So this is my final answer. Now as you can see, if we use geometry, our questions, they become very simple. Okay? Had you use approach number 2? So what is approach number 2? So you would have, let's say, you would have assumed this general form x square plus y square plus 2gx. So using that, this would have become what? Minus of 6 of x plus twice of y plus c is equal to 0. This is general form of the equation. Now it is cutting intercept, so you can just try solving this. Then you would have got 2 roots, then equate that length to 6, then find out the value of c. This would become very big problem. Why to use that when you can use geometry? See, the entire point of coordinate geometry is use algebra and geometry to solve difficult problems of geometry. We do not need to only use algebra to solve geometrical problem. No, you have to use geometry as much as we can and use lesser algebra. Got it? Let's move ahead. Find the locus of the center of circle which cuts off intercepts of line twice of a plus twice of b from x axis and y axis respectively. Okay, so let's again do that question. It's again easy question. What it says, find the locus of the center. So first let's write down the center's coordinates h comma k. Done. Okay, which cuts off intercepts of length 2a. Okay, so this is what? 2a, and this is what? Twice of b. That's it. This is the only information they have given you. Okay, so let's use that. So twice of a is what? Twice of square root g square minus c. Now luckily, see, this g square is what? H square only, because these coordinates are what? Minus g minus f, center's coordinates. So I can say that h is what? Minus g, and k is what? Minus of f. So I can directly say that a square will be equal to what? H square minus c. C is a variable, so c is what? H square minus a square. This is my first condition. Similarly, I can write twice of b is equal to twice of f square minus c, which can be written as b square is equal to k square minus c. This can be written as c as k square minus b square. Here. Now, what is our third condition for locus? We have to eliminate the variable. The variable is c, so let's eliminate that. So when I eliminate that, what do I get? H square minus a square is equal to k square minus b square, which turns out to be h square minus k square is equal to what? A square minus b square. I can further write it as I am replacing h as x, k as y. X square minus y square is equal to a square minus b. This is the locus of my center. Adya, do you have any doubt? It's okay. But now you are connected again. So if you have any doubt, you're free to ask. Okay, so there is no doubt from others end, so it's okay. Let's move ahead. If one end of the diameter is 1 comma 1 and the other end lies on the line x plus y is equal to 3, then find the locus of the center of circle. Okay, again it's a very good question, but as I want you guys to solve this question, so I would give you guys 45 seconds. It's a very 1 or 2 steps question, that's it. If you want, I can just draw the diagram for you guys. If one end of the diameter is at 1 comma 1 and the other end lies on the line, okay, so this is the line x plus y is equal to 3. That means, so this is this sort of line, and this is your diameter's other point, 1 comma 1. Okay, that's it. This sort of, I am just thinking, this sort of circle must be there. Sorry, it just cut the line, given line, so I'll just clear it out and I'll try it again. Okay, so this sort of circle, that's it. This is your 1 comma 1, and the locus, the center is what? Because the center's locus needs to be found out, so I'll give it as h comma k. Okay, now let's solve it. Come on, Adya. Whosoever is there in the class, you can also solve it. People, those who will be watching this video later on, you are also welcome to solve this question. So I'll put the timer on for 45 seconds. See, this question, so these sort of questions, this question, the earlier question what we solved, these questions are really good for JEE mains, where you can just, in 1 or 2 steps you can directly solve the question. You just need to connect the right concept and solve it, and you can just save your steps as well. Come on, Adya. Tell me the answer for this question. Okay, so time's up. Yes, almost. I gave you guys a minute already. Okay, so see, diameter like this. Now can you see one thing? Its diameter is already perpendicular to this straight line, right? Let's use that concept. Here, let's use this mathematical condition. So I know the slope of this diameter. What will be that? K minus 1 upon h minus 1. And this slope will be what? If the product of this slope, diameter slope, and this straight lines, given line slope will be what? Minus 1. So the slope for this line is what? Minus 1 already. So minus 1 will be equal to what? Minus 1. What do I got? H minus 1 is equal to K minus 1. What do I see? I see that it is H is equal to K. So that means Y is equal to X. If we have this sort of line, this line will be the locus of the center of this circle. Got it? I hope everything is clear with you guys. If you have any doubt, you're free to ask. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's move ahead. The locus is twice of x plus twice of y is equal to y. Ate, could you please explain me how did you solve this question? Because I have also explained. You can also check. Come on, Adya, you can leave a comment. Tell me how did you get this twice of x plus twice of y is equal to 5? How did you get that answer? I can't see any comment here so far. The comment has not come. Yes. Twice of x plus twice of y is equal to 5. How are you getting this? Can you please explain me that? How did you solve this question? Adya, could you please explain me what's your how did you get this answer? Okay. Since did you get why what mistake have you committed? If that's clear, then we can move ahead. If you have any doubt that the way I solve this question, you're free to ask. Twice of alpha plus twice of beta is equal to 5. How are you getting this? Could you please explain me that? What is twice of alpha? What is alpha and beta here? Okay. I guess what Adya is doing, I guess I have understood what she is doing. Okay, so let's do that question the way Adya she has done it. So there is a small difference as in I'll try to make you understand, guys. Okay, so what I have done is see, it says the other end lies on the line. It says lies on the line. It never says that the other end is touching this line. Whereas in my case, what I've done is I have just touched the line. I have touched this. In that case, that's why we're getting this line. See, this is the case for touching. Whereas what Adya has done it, I think what she has done it, I guess absolutely right, Adya. I guess the way you have solved it, I guess you can't explain why you are getting twice of alpha plus twice of beta is equal to 5. So okay, Adya, I'll tell you why you are getting that. See, what this guy has done it. So let's say if 1 comma 1 is one end of the diameter and this is your h comma k. Now it says the other point of the diameter lies on this line. On this line. Here. Now we have to use the condition in a manner that we get the answer. We get the locus. Now let's try to do it. Now what exactly we can do it? Now, can you please explain me what would you prefer? So one thing is we can just assume, we can just calculate this point's coordinate using 1 comma 1 and h comma k, and we can just satisfy those points there in the lines equation. Clear? Yes, that's what we can do. So let's do that. So since let's say these coordinates we don't know, let's say these coordinates are alpha and beta. Let's see. If these coordinates are alpha and beta, so I can just directly say that alpha plus 1 by 2 will be what? H. My alpha will be what? Twice of h minus 1, and similarly my beta will be twice of k minus 1. Here. So now these points are lying on this straight line. So that would be what? Twice of h minus 1 plus twice of k minus 1 is equal to 3. So finally the equation will become what? Twice of x plus twice of y will be equal to 5. So this is your final equation, final locus of the center of circle. So this question what I solved it for touching. So that's my mistake, because instead of touching I heard it is clearly mentioned lies, not touching. That's my mistake. Center alpha beta is given by alpha is equal to 1 plus t by 2 and beta is 2 minus t by 2. Yes, Adya, what you're trying to say I understood. But Adya, from next time onwards, I would request you to, instead of writing mathematical form, better you write the concept, so that we all can understand what you're trying to say. And this is my mistake in this question. Instead of lying, I understood it as if it's touching. Okay. Thanks a lot guys. It was a really good session for me as well as for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. And I am running a fun day series on Unacademy application. You are free to come there. I'll be sharing the link with you guys, so you can just come and be there with me tomorrow at 11 AM. I'll be covering functions. Okay, so that's it guys. If you have liked the video, if you liked the class, just do share this video and do share with it your friends. You can subscribe the channel. You can just hit the bell icon so that you will get notification whenever I conduct any online live class. And if you want to have those extra benefits, go for Unacademy Plus and Iconic subscription. You can use code NK001 and you'll get 10% off. Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 7 PM. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.